Hi, I think I'm broadcasting. Stop streaming. Okay. I think I'm broadcasting. I'm still relatively new at this, and it's dark outside. But I have my ring light here. I wanted to talk about something that I is an impromptu thing. I wanted to talk about some thought I had earlier today. I was talking with somebody. I won't reveal the person's name, but I was reminded of somebody else, and what I want to talk about is how admirable this other person was in terms of a work ethic and in terms of being diligent about forming a future. I want to talk more about myself, my point of view, and I have some questions. Maybe you felt this way. Drop a comment yourself. Um, okay, I was going through elementary school, middle school, and high school, and I didn't really socialize much, so I didn't know very much about what other kids were doing, other classmates were doing. So I guess that's like ignorance is bliss, right? On my own, I what was I doing? Um, I was writing my scripts in high school. I was writing my television scripts and sending them off to production companies naively. But I was trying. But I was at least trying to advance. I had a future in mind. And in elementary school, I was reading books about UFOs and about the paranormal in general. And as I said before, like ignorance is bliss. Like I was happy and I was content. I was moving on my own at my own pace, and to a little extent, I thought that I was progressing more, further. I was progressing further than a lot of the other kids, but in retrospect, uh, I guess many of them, or at least some of them, were progressing, and that's where this other friend comes in. I found out that this other friend was also, I guess, similar in a similar way as ambitious as I was. I still am. Um, I want to talk about my performance in school too. I'm smart, and I've thought of this that I didn't really feel any motivation um, to do well in school. Frankly, I've said this, I've talked about this before, but I figured you get through school because it's illegal not to go to school, frankly, and I I did the best I could. I say it's a weird thing to say in hindsight, but is this? Oh, good. Okay. This is going in and out. I hope this is going through. I hope it's streaming. Um, I hope it's recording. But I I didn't feel any motivation. There weren't really role models for me in school, and I hope it's still streaming. I guess it says stop streaming here, so I guess it's still recording. I I didn't feel this any motivation really. No role models in school. In fact, and sometimes I felt disencouraged. Sometimes in school, um, but outside of school, I was very active. I was reading. I was writing stories, and I was writing scripts. And let me see what else. I was drawing earlier on. I was drawing, and um, I went with my mom. I was able to, I guess, audit. I guess that's what they call it. I was able to audit an animation class in at Newhouse. I at the college, the university. nearby, and this was in sixth grade, and I would be taken little out of school, a few minutes early out of school, and message. Oh, okay, something else. Taken a little bit early out of school, and of course I was happy and to do that, and I would take the bus with my mom downtown, and then I think we would take another bus from downtown over to the university. And I always felt comfortable and akin to people older than I was. And I didn't see any kids in school, my classmates, that were really as ambitious as I was. This is me thinking at the time, um, or as interested in the outside world as I was. At least they didn't appear that way. And of course, the being picked on and ostracized didn't help it. It just encouraged that thought that I had. So with this other person, I mean, from what I've since learned a little bit about this other person, I really admire this other person, who has, there's a term for it that somebody that came to mind, resilient. This other person is resilient, and so we come to the second point. I graduated high school, I went to college, and I saw that as a big break. I really wanted to go to college in Southern California. I wanted to make. I see. I had this impression in my mind. I had this plan. I envisioned that I would go to college, or at least after college, I would go work on a TV show. See, around somewhere around elementary school, maybe middle school, I started enjoying. There's a TV show called The Dick Van Dyke Show. By the way, he's going to turn, Dick Van Dyke is going to turn 100 on, I think it's December 13th. Anyway, sometime this week. And The Dick Van Dyke Show is one of my favorite shows. Um, so and he, in the TV show, he plays Rob Petrie, who worked on he was a writer, a staff writer on a sitcom, something like the Carol Burnett Show. And I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed Bewitched, and I enjoyed Star Trek and the Munsters, and I saw that as my future life. And I was conditioned and indoctrinated with this belief that if I know where I'm going, which I did, I had a direction in mind, a life direction in mind, and career goal in mind. And I wasn't ambitious in the sense that that was my whole life. I just had a clear vision, and I was proud that I had a clear vision of where I wanted to go in life. And it was always so weird when people would say they didn't know what to do with, when they grew up, because even before elementary school, I was drawing. I liked artwork, and then in elementary school, I enjoyed drawing. I was a very good artist. I would draw Transformers, and I was somewhat at an early level of schematics, like drawing. I would say, I guess, maybe a high school level or a middle school level when I was in before I started elementary school, or during the early years of elementary school, um, and I like when I get recognition for my talents. And I enjoyed. I had a lot. It's amazing what I did in my regular daily life. I was in Boy Scouts, and I feel like to convey the feeling of this, I need to convey it in rapid succession. I was in Boy Scouts. I played with my friends after school or on weekends. I read books about the paranormal and books about television production and Star Trek and other TV shows. And let me see what else. I read a lot. I watched a lot of television. Um, and there were probably other things that just not coming to mind right now. But I was very active, and it saddens me that, or it sometimes it has saddened me that I didn't, um, I didn't have that life, and I'm really concerned that this is not streaming. I don't know if this is indeed streaming, but I don't want to waste a lot of time. I figured this would be a short thing to talk about, but somebody said don't compare yourself to others. In fact, a few people have advised me don't compare myself to others, and what I mean by that is when I do compare myself to others, it's not intentional. I'm exposed to it. Like on Facebook, I would see that other people had progressed and they had gotten married and gotten nice jobs, and it seems, I guess, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, and they just seem to have better lives and they seem to be progressing, whereas I was stuck. I felt stuck in many senses. I wasn't finding somebody to date. I wasn't, sometimes I was unemployed, or at least I was underemployed for a long period of time. And I'm just very ambitious, and that especially hits hard. It hit hard a lot when I was good. I have at least, okay, all right, I guess I am streaming. Um, it did hit hard for somebody so ambitious to feel like they're locked up, like to feel that they're isolated and they're trapped. I guess that's the best way of putting it. They're trapped, and they. I felt that way for a long time, and I felt that other people were judging me. It's here's a stereotype. It's like a guy is only as good as the money he makes, or the income, the salary he makes, or what kind of job he has, and it's not the good qualities he has, like compassionate and smart and clever and funny and good person to know. No, it's how much money can he make and what does he do for a living. And I encountered this when I was going on sites and filling out dating profiles. It's a tumbleweeds. It's like complete silence. And I remember sometimes when somebody would be matched up with me and would it's like the first question she would ask would be, oh, what do you do for a living? And well, I'm unemployed, or well, I work at a convenience store, or store or department store or something. Oh, and then I could sense right away, oh, well, that's the end of the conversation. And I wouldn't really want to date somebody who has that attitude anyway. So that's been a real form of dysphoria within me. People talk about dysphoria. I don't have gender dysphoria. I've had for a long time. I've had like lifestyle dysphoria, and so somebody advised that you shouldn't compare yourself to others, and I don't try to. I haven't tried to. It's just that it was a big shock for me. Um, I before it was like paradise. I went at my own pace, and that was like bliss for me. And I saw a bright future ahead for me. But now I I turned 50 last month, and I is this all that there is? It's like for those of you who've seen Star Trek. I don't know. There's a quote in the motion picture where um, where the phrase is sorry, somebody's calling me. Where somebody says, is this all that there is? Is there nothing more?" In Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and I guess that comes to mind now. So um, I guess I don't have anything more to say right now. So I wish you all uh, good evening or morning, as the case may be, as my favorite radio talk show host would say, Art Bell. Um, and I hope this streams well, and it seems to. I hope this streams well, and I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye.